Halfway across the world, in Japan, Hugo Sasaki is chasing his baseball dreams with determination and a structured plan. His journey shows the power of combining hard work with professional guidance using a remote program. Over the past 6 months, we discussed multiple times at length about diet, nutrition, lifting, and even traveling to the United States for a summer baseball season. Now, let's hear from them directly. Do you want to introduce yourself with just your name and where you're from?
Okay, my name is Hugo Sasaki, and I'm 15 years old, class of 2027. I'm switch hitter and right-hand pitcher and outfielder.
Awesome. And where are you from, Hugo?
I'm from Japan, Kanagawa, Japan.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we have Sayori joining us as well, Hugo's mom. Before joining into my program, like, what was baseball like for Hugo?
Well, he was still a freshman when he started the program, and he was always dreaming to play in the States, but he had no clue exactly what it is like and if it's okay for him to play in the States, if he's like eligible to play in the States, or like is he enough to play in the States. But yeah, he always wanted to, and that feeling is really strong. So I was always looking for some guidance from SNS, social media, and I found you.
That's awesome. And as far as where Hugo is at, like, mentally, before joining into the program, like, those doubts, was he concerned on how to, work out? I guess talk to me through that.
Well, his team is really a very good team, but still he has a lot of doubts, and he has he was really insecure about what he has to do to be developed. He was really insecure, but now like he has someone who can give him guidance, and he can always ask questions to you. So that makes him that made him a lot of confident, and it was really good. And I could see how he became more confident after talking to you. Every time he asks you questions.
That's awesome. Obviously, confidence plays a huge part in the game. As far as metrics go, were there any certain metrics that Hugo wanted to improve, or before joining into the program, like what were those metrics like, if you guys remember?
5.5やって、なんか、プライオがちょっと良くなったなっていうのは。
When he is off the team, when he's not going to the gym or work out or play baseball, he got some idea from you to do that 5, 10, 5. Yeah. And he worked for maybe for the first time in his life, and it really worked for many things, not only like the sprinting kind of way, but for the flyo side, he could feel that it worked a lot for that side as well. So that was something that he would never be able to find by himself to work on.
As far as being on a structured baseball specific program before joining in, have you guys had any experience with that?
Things like this, your program?
Yeah, did you have any experience?
No, he's only been in the team. That's all. So he was always trying to find some ideas or information from social media, but it's only like inputting from all the movies and everything. But no, this is very first time.
Gotcha. And as far as my program goes, who do you think's my program made for?
For the serious high school baseball players, for parents, and for someone who are trying to play baseball in the States, just because we don't have so many students who really, really want to play in the States like Hugo, it's actually pretty rare that to dream for playing baseball in the States, because high school baseball in Japan is pretty big. So everybody, almost like more than 90% of players want to play in Japan for high school baseball. Then they will think about going to the States or going to the university in Japan to play baseball. But for someone like him, there should be more students like him and who needs support like your program and academy. And after, well, maybe before joining the program, I started listening to your podcast, and that was just amazing. And it was crazily changed my thoughts and mind, and it helped me a lot. And sometimes it made me cry. Like this is what I wanted to always listen to. So, I mean, the podcast was just amazing, and I always thinking about like translating to Japanese, but every episode is so good and every episode is so long, so I haven't been able to do it for him yet. But still, like we try to listen to it over and over when I think it was really important episode. So like I was thinking about like maybe if I can share your podcast to Japanese people, it could be like helpful for someone like him.
Before joining into my program, I know the podcast, I love hearing that feedback. It is free, it's out there to everyone, but I guess before joining in my program, was there any areas that you were worried about within the inside of the academy?
Something that I was worried about, or one thing was, of course, the money, how expensive it is, or another one is like if you fit him, or if you're the one that he wants to talk to.
Taking those two things into consideration, what actually made you guys take that next step and actually join into the academy?
Of course, the trust, if it's okay to, it's a trustworthy or not, because we are so away and I don't know about you at all. But I just kept listening to your podcast, kept listening, watching your Instagram post. That made us, he will be the one, yeah.
After, all said and done, the 6 months inside the program, I guess what's baseball like now for Hugo?
自分にとってその野球って今どんな感じになったって変わったって6ヶ月で。
ああ、いや、アメリカで野球をやりたいっていうのは変わんないけど、視野が広がったというか、その視野が広がるのはもちろんだけど、そのどこにスカウトを受けるにあたって注目するのかとか、そういうので変わったというか。
His mind to play in his dream to play in the States is not changing, but I think it turned into like more like a goal from the dream, and it's more realistic for him, and it broadened his perspective after talking to you and asking you questions and having your academy. I mean, more like mentally, more like knowledge wise, the mental wise, it was just super helpful and something that he needed. So it was just a great time that he could always talk to you and then asking questions to someone who knows about this whole thing.
Absolutely. And obviously the philosophies of the game over in Japan can be dramatically different than here in the States. What are your metrics like now? Like I know the 5-10-5 is something that you really enjoyed. Were you able to see constant growth in certain metrics in your game?
ベースランニングがなんかもっと単純に言えば速くなって、で帰塁、その牽制されて帰塁された時の帰塁した時がもっとリードを取れるようになったから、それが一番。
Okay, but when he's on the base, when he's doing the base running, he really felt that he gets faster every time by doing the 5-10-5 and thing. And when I don't know how to say this in English, but
牽制はピックで。
pick, when he gets the pick, and he can go back to the base more quickly than before.
そうだからもっとビッグでリード。
He can take the lead bigger, wider. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Those are the next step things, right? Getting an extra foot off of the base to steal a base, right? He feels that much more confident that he's able to take a bigger lead. So if the pitcher picks off, he's able to get back in no problem. We talk about a lot of the time, like baseball is a game of inches. what I'm hearing from Hugo, he feels that much more confident to really push that to the limit because of his athletic abilities. So I think that's kind of like what he's mentioning in that. So that's really exciting. Obviously, I remember having that conversation about nutrition. As far as Hugo's diet and weight, have you, Sayori, seen any
Oh
improvements?
yeah, he's been like tried to eat a lot, and not only eating a lot, he tried to care about the how much he eats. He always weighed with the scale how much rice he eats and how much protein he eats and stuff. And I think yeah, a little by little, maybe he's not a very easily getting bigger kind of person, but still he is trying and then getting bigger. And I can tell it's not like drastically getting bigger now yet, but his weight is increasing, and he's doing the weight training a lot, so he looks wider.
That's all really good information, obviously. And if anyone was thinking about joining into my program, I guess what would you tell them?
勧めたいその
何が
これをやりたいなって思ってる人に何かこうやった方がいいよって言うとしたら
もちろん大学に行きたい人
うん
にはそうだし、あとは、普通に野球をもっと上手くなりたい人、あとはその打席内とかで、試合の中で落ち込んじゃうっていうか、ちゃんとメンタルが安定しない人に、おすすめしたいっていう。
Maybe he 一番最初なんだっけ
大学に行きたい人。
For someone who wants to go to university as a baseball player, and of course, and another thing is having you was really meant for him as he was thinking on the なんて打席って at bat mentally to have a stable mentality was a very big help just because you were there for him. So like for someone who is thinking about like what I don't know mentally more like mentally he thinks if he has any question or doubts he can always ask you. That kind of mentality helped him a lot because you are always there when he needs you. He could always ask you questions and you reply him directly, and that made him confident than he thought that he would be.
And I guess your perspective of everything, Sayori. I guess if you were talking to another parent right now, as far as the academy goes, what would you tell them if they were on the edge of joining in or not? I guess would you give them any advice or expectations to what's to come?
Well, yes, and I actually do not know so much about the technical side, so I have no idea. But and I was listening to your podcast the other day, and I really feel this so much that the parents tend not to be able to evaluate their children correctly. That is very important if you want him to go to the college and everything. Like if he's very like small and not too small, then the parents still think that he's a great player. But that kind of thing, you have to understand how much it is important to go through the journey with your son. As a parent, the parent has to understand the realistic of where he is at, and I think you're the one who can tell them. And if you want to know and if you really want to accomplish something truly, then you will be the big help. Maybe the parents don't want to listen to your son is not that yet or something like that, but still it is important to understand how he is right now, where he is at now, what kind of player he is like or something like that. I think it's really important to know or be told from someone professional like you.
Hugo's journey is proof that a structured path and the right guidance can help any player achieve their goals. If your player is ready to take the next steps, book a call with me today, and let's build your player's roadmap for success.